Good morning and welcome to the next video in this series of fixing this Xbox for giveaway. So, we reached our milestone, 200 views. We're actually pushing close to 250 now. And as I promised, it's time for LEDs. So I'm going to be putting in some LEDs today. I've got this zoomed in so you can see a little bit better. Sorry, let me pull my microphone out. I got it zoomed in so you can see a little bit better, but it's going to make it harder for me to keep things on screen. So I'm going to do my best today of keeping things on screen and in view, but I apologize beforehand if I don't. So I'm going to start by taking a drink real quick. And no, not that kind of drink. It's too early in the morning for beer. And I'm going to see if my soldering iron's warmed up enough yet. Got a few more minutes before I need it, but I just want to see if it's getting there. Yep, it's good. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull off the shells. If I can see them, I might need my glasses for this. I don't know what I did with my glasses. Figures. Never have something when you need it. Not on my desk. Not there. Aha! Glasses. Ugh. Of course they're on the floor. I don't use them enough to really worry about where they are too often. So let me put my glasses on real quick. Alright, so we need to be right about there. So I'm going to pull these shells off so that I can access the stuff on the inside. And you have to be fairly careful on these. You don't want to do them too hard because you'll wind up breaking the structure that actually holds them in place. And there's these little tabs on the side. I don't know if you can see this tab. Of course, it's not auto-focusing. If you can see the tab down here, you just have to pull on that and get it separated and pull away from it, and it pops it right off. I usually hold my finger on the back to make sure that they stay in place and don't just yank off. So we have one down. Oops. I go through too many of these snips when I'm doing these because I wind up over bending them or pulling on them too hard, and it snaps the snips right off. I think this is like my 6th pair in the last year. But I do other stuff. I do other system repairs, obviously. And I work on other electronics too. So we got both of these. We got both of those ready. Oh, I might have company here in a second. The cat's starting to bother me. Let me zoom in on that properly, since my autofocus is not working for some reason. Alright, so the long post is the positive post. At least that's how I remember it. Watch, I'm probably wrong. Let me find my battery so I can test. got a pack of cell batteries for repairing cartridges with batteries in them, you know, save batteries. And I usually test my LEDs with that before I put them on, just to make sure that the LED works. And of course now I can't find those batteries. I tried to be as prepared as I could for this video, and of course there's always something that messes me up. Oh well. And I don't have a battery pack I could use to jumper it. Oh, here's a battery. This will work. It's nice when you find a remote with a cell battery in it, because then you can just pull the cell battery out. And the flat batteries are great for testing LEDs. So hopefully the battery's still good, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. And it works. So long positive, which is what I thought. And I bend them like so. And I always pull an extra one out because usually something happens that I screw something up. I've got a horrible frog in my throat today. Normally screw something up, either where I cut the lead too short, or I've actually had some that have just been dead. So I always pull out an extra one, just in case. So I probably won't need it, but it's there so I don't have to stop and grab another one. So I'm going to pull out a little bit of flux just to make the solder stick a little bit quicker and easier. And I'm going to hit my head on the camera again as usual. Put a little on the positive, put a little on the negative. That's good. And that's what I forgot. Okay. I forgot my resistors. So these are, if they actually ship me the right thing, these are 200 ohm resistors. And I love these LEDs. These are the super bright ones. Makes it glow like a sci-fi movie. And these, it don't matter which direction you go with these. You can solder them either or. But I like to take these and snip off part of the ends, because I do not need them being that long. I usually use about half. Now I'm going to pretend these. If I can pick them back up off the table now. flux helps with everything. Except for here, apparently. Yeah, I shake. I've had this issue since I was a child. I have ADHD, and my brain's constantly firing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and that includes everything that controls my body too. I can't understand why this is not. There we go. Just does not want to stick to the. They might be dirty. I might have gotten too much finger oils on them, and they might not want to allow the solder to stick. Try it again. No, I don't need that much on there. Just needed a little bit so it sticks easier. Alright. So I'm going to stick a little bit of solder on my soldering iron again. And then I'm going to do each one of these real quick. If I can pick the damn things up. It's not sticking. There we go. Make sure that's not making a connection with the other one. I gotta move this over a little bit. Alright, so I got one done. Nothing like the smell of solder in the morning. Let's see, get that one. Oops, see. I always screw something up. If I just lift up on this, should be able to touch it right back to it. Alright. And then we get to this one. And then the last one. These go to the power line, and then the other side attaches to the negative of the LED. Hope you guys aren't seeing too much of my head. I'm trying to do this so that you guys can see better. But I'm probably... No, I'm not sticking my head in. Okay, good deal. Alright, so now we are going to prep the LEDs for adding them. And I cut these leads off a little bit. And now I'm going to tin these. What was that black shit on there? Oops, did I just say that? I have to learn how to beep words out. Because you'll hear me accidentally saying things like that every once in a while. So get these tinned real quick. So I'm actually surprised we hit 200 views so quickly. I was just more interested in getting a little bit of the word out there. And, you know, I wasn't expecting to make this a long series. I expected like 4, maybe 5 with the presentation. And, ow. Ugh. Gotta love soldering iron burns. At least that one wasn't too bad. So those are all 10 now. They should be easy to solder on. Shouldn't need that anymore. Alright, so now we need to solder the LEDs on. I need to adjust my cable here, it's a little snagged. Need more room. Alright. Let's get the first one in here. I'm going to bend this one all the way to the left. That way I can use it as a handle. And because that's where it needs to be. Probably should invest in some alligator clips, but honestly in a situation like this they really wouldn't help me much because of just how awkward and weird the area is where I'm working. So we've got that, and now we're going to, I wouldn't use a screwdriver if I were you, but I've done this so many times I know how forceful I can be with this stuff without breaking it. And so I'm just going to push this resistor back up in this little cubby. And then I'm going to fold the wire back upwards. And then I can make a connection like this. And I do it on a cross like this because it keeps it out of the way and still allows me to adjust the LED into the area where I want it, because that's not going to be the final position of that LED. Let me make a quick little solder. And then I could snip off the excess. Now we got a good joint there, and then I can take this and move this over into position, and then we are done with that one. And it keeps the wiring the wiring out of the way, and I've never had one of these, you know, short out or anything like that. All right, number 2. Oh, there's my head again. I'm trying to, it's funny, I'm trying to lean over so that I can do this, not be in the picture, and not hit my head on everything. So it's a little tough. It's a little tough, but I'll get by. And see, I always tuck these away. I want these to be protected. I didn't make that one as short, but it's not a big deal. Some of the posts are a little bit longer than I prefer them to be. It's bent too far back. Yeah, I know I went a little overkill on that one. That should be good though. Alright, so, oops, I'm going to lift that up a little bit. That way it doesn't bump the other side of the power. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, one done. Be smart and get these out of the way first. This is what I normally do. Trying to do everything in an order though for you guys. So that's about how long I usually like them. This one's just a little bit too long still. Alright. I want to bend this one up because it's going across the other pin and I don't want that. But I don't want to put too much force on it by itself because then it will wind up breaking the solder joint. So now I've made a little raised area, so that should be good. Always want to keep them from going across the other solder points. Yep, there are a few perks of being tall, but I'm going to tell you the perks do not outweigh the negative. Not one bit at all. I need to get a new tip for my soldering iron. It's getting really bad. Had a lot of use. It's not a very pretty solder joint, but it is a solid one, so it will work. It's just got a lot of debris on the outside of the the solder. I don't like that. Bend that up a little bit higher. There we go. It's not sitting as close to the... It's not sitting as close to the other solder joints now. It's got a good 1/8 of an inch clearance now. Alright, last one, and then I'll plug it in and show you that they work. I'm actually got a test machine to throw these into real quick to test. Actually, no, I don't. I guess I'll be plugging these into the regular machine then. Let me get this one done, and I'll figure that out in a minute. Oh yeah, that one's a lot longer than I normally do. I'm going to snip that one off a little bit more. Oh, son of a... Caught myself that time. The ground wire has come loose. Sometimes that happens when I'm working on these, so I usually just hold a screwdriver in position to push it back towards the spot, and then I could usually get it to solder back together, and we are good to go. Alright, so now we have this in a better position. This can come up, this can go behind. I hope you guys can see this. At least once I pull my hands away, I know you guys can. And then one last, clean my tip off real quick. One last section of soldering. And snippy snip. And I should be able to move that over to here. That's a nice clean spot. Change this a little bit, bend it. Get that out of the way, there we go. Alright, so, does this look familiar? Alright, so now we've got this bad boy. And see, I actually pulled out the controller ports from the donor system just so I could do the video without having to disassemble this first. And what do you know? I'm disassembling it. But at least I could plug it into this and give you some kind of idea what it's going to look like. And I finally found my magnetizers, so I shouldn't have screw issues anymore, dropping them and not being able to, well, maybe not. They're great, but sometimes on these cheap Chinese bit sets, they don't seem to work all that well. So we can see the back. Let's do it this way so we can see the front. Sorry about that. Front. Yes, okay. I'm still learning this camera because it points downwards, it flips things. And so I can't always tell which way the camera is facing. Let's see, pull this one out. Come on. I honestly cannot believe that my cat has not jumped up here yet and interrupted any of my videos. If you guys only knew this cat's always like, I mean, I can go to the bathroom, and if I don't wait for him, if I shut the door, he will come to the bathroom door and scratch at the door until I let him in. And this cat, I don't know, I'm like his dad or something, but he never wants to leave my side. And for him not to be around when I'm doing these videos, it kind of just blows my mind. He's my Xbox kitty. I've taken some pictures and put them online where he's laying up against Xboxes, passed out, and stuff like that. Awesome cat. Come on, get in there. Didn't want to take everything apart. Although probably pulling the power to the board would have been a good thing because it would have made up a lot of room. So I took a stab in the dark, and that green would be the color that would be chosen because that's all anybody's said so far. And honestly, I think green's the best color on here on a stock Xbox. I think it just makes it pop. But if something happens that more votes come in and it changes, I am constantly making these for other systems, so it's not a loss for me. I'll just make a different color. So I hit the camera again. Did it stop recording? I probably won't be able to tell until I'm done recording, so let's hope not. If it stops recording, I'll just pull it apart and put it back together again for you guys. Alright, so there we go. 4 green LEDs. You see them from the back, and they glow from the front. Do a quick lights off. And the glow. Lights on the inside look pretty. I might even add more lights to this. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I may add more. There is a couple other things that I was thinking about doing also. Those would just be bonuses. Those wouldn't be part of the achievement. Just because I'm feeling froggy. But that's it for this video. Once again, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below so that you could be entered into the contest. Each comment for each video gets you 1 entry. 1 entry per video. So until next time, I'll put this thing back together on the next video, and present it, unless I get more likes here soon, and it pushes me up to the next achievement level. All right, guys, thank you.